Marcia burst into tears.
Luka, I don't care how you've tortured me, but why are you trying to ruin our daughter? She's still so young, and you're teaching her to lie. What do you want from us? Do we have to die before you're satisfied?
Luka remained stunned in silence by the slap and Marcia's outburst. He wondered,
I've hurt her so much in the past that I'm not sure she'll ever believe me. Will I ever be able to convince her?
He tried to explain.
Please, leave me be.
She rushed off to the bedroom and slammed the door shut. His wife was crying in the bedroom, and his daughter was crying in the living room. It was at that moment that he understood what a monumental thing he would have to overcome. He realized how difficult it would be for him to change everything. He scooped the crying Iris into his arms, gently patting her back.
I didn't lie.
I know you're not lying, baby.
Luka gently patted his daughter's back and comforted her.
Mommy's just tired. She'll be fine after a little while.
The next morning, Luka got up very early and made breakfast again. Marcia simply glanced at it and left for work. Luka was prepared for his wife's cold treatment and didn't take offense. Once breakfast was out of the way, he took Iris to kindergarten and then made his way back to the wholesale market to buy another batch of balloons. After that, he went to the seafood market and found one of the few stalls selling lobsters. Luka made inquiries and asked them to prepare the goods for him to collect the following day. He had made the fishmonger's day. Lobster was a high-end food product and not as easily sold as others, such as crawfish, mainly because it was quite expensive. It was most definitely not the first choice for the general public, and anyone willing to take the whole stock was a godsend for any vendor. The idea had come to Luka when he remembered a particular event that he knew would be happening soon. Because of a mistake made by a kitchen worker, all the lobsters at the Pacific Ocean Hotel would end up dead and, therefore, unusable. Luka also knew that the following day, a luxurious wedding was to be held there, and lobster was going to be served as one of the main dishes. Sadly, despite the hotel's management staff's efforts, they were going to discover that the remaining lobster stock had been bought en masse by another hotel, and there was nothing they were going to be able to do to placate the clients. The wedding was for a well-known, powerful family who had every right to be furious with the hotel. Luka recalled how the Pacific Ocean Hotel took a large hit because of that problem. They lost a lot of money and nearly went out of business. He planned to stock up on lobster in advance and then sell them directly to the Pacific Ocean Hotel. After kindergarten, Luka took Iris to the amusement park again to sell balloons. However, he remembered his mistake and the terrible scene from the day before and made sure to feed Iris first. Once she was fully fed, they went on to sell more balloons. It wasn't exactly child's play, but they both enjoyed it, and they were happy to be doing something together. They had 10 times more balloons than the day before. Business was a lot slower this time around, but they had still managed to sell them all by 9 o'clock. Totting it all up, Luka discovered that with the day's profits, he was at $9,000. A feeling of relief washed over him as he started feeling a little more secure about his financial predicament. He knew that everything he had experienced in his past life wasn't for naught. At about 10 in the evening, he took Iris home. As soon as they walked through the door, he saw Marcia sitting on the couch. Her expression was gloomy.
Where did you take her? Look at the time. I've been worried sick.
Daddy took me to sell balloons again. We made a lot of money.
You're lying again. Marcia looked fierce, and Iris hid behind Luka. She didn't want to get smacked again.
She isn't lying. We did go to sell balloons. Look, this is the money we earned.
Luka pulled out the thick wad of cash from his wallet and pulled up the e-payment app on his phone. More than half his customers had paid cash, and the rest had bought the balloons on their cards. Marcia, whose bad mood had been building for hours because her daughter was not home when she returned, was shocked. Her mouth fell open when she saw the cash and the figures Luka pointed out on the app. She wondered,
has Luka really managed to earn that much so quickly?
She couldn't believe it and immediately went on the defense to hide her surprise.
Why did you take Iris along? Were you trying to scam people?
Luka was speechless. The only reason he had taken Iris was because there was no one in the house to look after her.
Whether you believe it or not, I'm going to make us money. First, I'll help you pay the company's fine, and then I'll find a way to pay for the kindergarten.
At the mention of the fine, Marcia's mean-spirited demeanor melted away, and she slumped onto the couch. As if she couldn't hold them in anymore, her tears started flowing uncontrollably. Luka was immediately worried.
What's wrong? Has the company done something? Are they hassling you? Look, take this money and pay off what you owe. I'll find more for the other things we need. I'll find a way.
You'll find a way? How? You'll have to go rob a bank to get your hands on $100,000.
100,000? Wasn't the fine just 10,000? Did you go to talk to your boss in person?
Marcia looked up at him. The tears did nothing to conceal her surprise. As an employee of the advertising company, she had been distracted when negotiating a big contract with a client and had ended up giving the wrong statistics. As a result, when her boss signed the contract, he was furious and made a point of saying how unprofessional she was. For that, she had received a fine of $10,000 from her employers. Luka thought Marcia shouldn't have been fined at all.
She's an employee, not in a position of power. Those higher up in the company are the ones paid to take risks, and they shouldn't have passed the buck to her.
He wanted so much to say that to Marcia, but after so many years of neglect and mistreatment, he didn't expect her to listen to him. Marcia was afraid that the client wouldn't want to do business with their company because of her error, so she decided to meet with him on her own to make things right. Unfortunately, she arrived at the client's office at a critical moment, interrupting his discussions with another company. The client was furious and swore never to work with Marcia's company ever again. When Marcia's bosses found out about what happened, they were furious. They had let the first small mistake pass, but because of Marcia, they had lost the $150,000 contract. In the end, the legal affairs department gave her the demand letter. If she couldn't pay up within 2 days, she'd be taken to court and sued for the company's lost earnings. She thought, $150,000 is impossible. My marriage and career are falling to pieces in front of my eyes, and there's nothing I can do about it. She was crumbling under the pressure and stress. Luka looked deep into his wife's despairing eyes and tried to comfort her.
It's just $150,000. I'll pay it back for you.